Well, hello everyone. In this lecture, we are going to learn about how to access the elements of an array. In the previous lecture, we have just learned about what is an array in JavaScript and how to create an array. So now, in this video, we are going to learn about how to access the elements of an array. Let's jump right into it. Array elements can be accessed by their index using the square bracket notation. What does it mean an index is? Well, an index is a number that represents the element's position in an array. Array indexes are zero based. This means that the first item of an array is stored at index 0, not 1. Bear in mind, the first item of an array is stored at index 0. The second item is stored at index 1, so on and so forth. This means an array index starts at 0 and go up to the number of elements minus 1. What does it mean? Let me say you have an array of 10 elements. That means this array would have an index from 0 to 9. Let me briefly explain this using an example, and I will show you how to get individual array element by their index. Here we go. First, let me create a variable right here. Let me say var fruit. Let me say my favorite fruit. Here we have apple. Alright, at this time, this is a variable var fruits. Instead of my favorite fruit, let me say fruits. And here we have the list of my favorite fruit, and it is found inside the square notation right here and separated by a comma right here. So now the question is how to access these individual arrays. So in order to access this individual array, you are going to use a square bracket notation and their index right here. So now using document.write method right here, so from here apple has an index value of 0. So in order to access apple, you are going to consider what the index value is. So the index value is 0. So now using document.write method, fruits and then 0, here we have an apple, right? Alright, so in order to access this avocado again, here we have avocado has an index value of 1 right here. So 1, document.write fruits 1, and in order to access again mango, it has index value 2. So now when we run this program, it gives avocado and mango right here. Alright, so what we are going to do in order to access the last element right here. So in order to access the last element from the array, you may use just like this. So now fruits.length minus 1. Alright, so from here fruits.length means the length of the array. It calculates the length of the array and minus 1. That means the length of the array from here is 6, so 6 minus 1 is 5. So from the list of the fruits which has an index value 5 is papaya. So it displays papaya when I run a program. Having this, now let's jump right into how to get the length of an array. The length property returns the length of an array, which is the total number of elements contained in the array. So let me get the same example right here. So in order to find the length of the array, you can use fruits.length right here. So document.write and fruits.length inside the parenthesis right here. When I print out the program, it gives 6. So now the length of the array is 6 right here. The question may be how to access each element of an array in sequential order. Here is how looping through an array elements come into play. You can use standard for loop to access each element of an array in sequential order, just like this. Let me take the same example that we did before. So fruits, and here we have. Alright, so in order to iterate over an array elements using for loop, here is how to use the standard for loop. So for, and then inside this parentheses, we are going to have var, and we are going to initialize I, let me say I equals to 0 and I less than fruits.length, and then increment by 1, I increment by 1, I plus plus right here. And then inside these curly braces, we are going to write the code to be executed using document.write method fruits and then I right here. So from here, when I equals to 0, this apple will display, so the loop iterates until this condition is false. So I less than fruits.length. So when I execute the program, it displays an array of elements in sequential order, just like this. So from here, it iterates the array using an index value right here. So for the first time, fruits having index value 0, apple will display, index value 2, 1, avocado will display, and mango, the index value of mango is 2. So mango will display, and orange and banana and papaya is the same, right? So now it displays forward starting from the element having index value 0 up to this condition is false. This will iterate and display the elements of an array. So from here, let me ask one question. What do you do if you need to iterate an array, this array, backward? Pause the video and try by yourself. Alright, welcome back. So to do this, so like I said before, array index start at 0 and go up to the number of elements minus 1. So in order to iterate the elements of an array backward, we have an initialization I equals to fruits.length minus 1. And then here we have a condition I greater than or equal to 0, and then here we have a decrement. It decrement by 1, I decrement by 1, and left the rest as it is. Having this, when I execute the program, you see it starts from papaya and ends up to apple right here. If you did just like this, nice job. Alright, here we have a simpler way to iterate over array elements that has introduced in ECMAScript, which is using for of loop. In this loop, you don't have to initialize the variable I and keep track of the loop counter variable I, just we did before. Let me show you this with an example, and from here let me take the same example that we used before, and here we have var fruits. So here we have the array, and now I iterate over an array element using for of loop. So to do this, we have for, and then inside this parentheses we have a variable var and let me say fruit, and then we have of right here. We have a keyword of, and then we have an array right here, fruits. Var fruit of fruits, var fruit of fruits, and then document dot write, and here is the parentheses. Inside the parentheses we are going to write this fruit instead of fruits right here. All right, so when I execute the program, this will iterate and display the elements of an array just like this. You can also iterate over the array elements using for in loop. Let me take the same example right here and iterate over array elements using for in loop. So to do this we have for and var, let me say I, in fruits, and then from here we are going to have fruits and I right here. In this case, I locates the index value right here. Alright, when I choose the program, here we have. Alright, this is all about how to access the elements of an array in JavaScript. In the next video, we are going to learn about the basic array method. If you have any question concerning here, let me know in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.